some people get unfairly dismissed because of how they sound, and then others receive unearned attention and respect because of where they were born, where they were raised. Hello mọi người, mình là Kim, and in this video I'm gonna try and kill two birds with one stone because apparently you guys like hearing me speaking English. So in this video, I'm gonna be speaking English the whole time while trying to answer a few of you guys' questions about English speaking, as well as kind of just sharing a few of my opinions about English accents and other issues related to it. I hope that it will be helpful for you guys, and let's get started. As per usual, I have to start this video with a disclaimer. What I'm about to say in this video is my opinion and my opinion alone. I'm not trying to sway anyone either way. I just think that what I'm about to share might be helpful to a few of you guys who are struggling with improving your speaking skills and your fluency. And I'm obviously no English teacher. All of the things I'm about to share come from my personal experience. So if you have any experience that sort of conflicts it, just let me know in the comment below. So the number one question that I received from you guys obviously came after I started, speaking English more on the channel, and you guys realized that I have a little bit of an Aussie accent. A lot of people want to know how I practice to get this accent. Well, the short answer is you don't. I think that an accent needs to develop naturally because in speaking a second language, your brain is already going through serious recalibration to command this different language that you're really not familiar with. And so on top of doing that, if you're trying to sound a certain way, it's just gonna be too much work, it's gonna be too distracting, and you're not gonna be able to keep it up. I also think that in practicing a specific accent, you're gonna really need to spend a lot of time on it, and this is time that you can instead use to consume more English content or to research and learn more about the culture of the place that you're about to, visit or about to live in, which is the process where your accent will develop naturally anyway. So I think that in order to really have a good natural accent, just kind of forget about practicing for a specific accent for a minute and just try to embrace the language as it is. The second question that I received from you guys and I want to address here is one that is very dear to my heart. A lot of you guys want to know how to sound like a native English speaker, or how to not stand out when you're an international student living in an English-speaking country. In answering this, I have to ask you, what do you define as a native English speaker? Obviously, the dictionary would tell you that that's someone who was born speaking English as their first language. But English itself isn't an original language. It started in one place, got spread out all over the world. It borrowed from a lot of the languages in the surrounding regions, and it has evolved so much through the course of history that these days I really don't believe that there's one country or one region that can claim that they have the authority to dictate how English should sound. Now, I have to stress, having good pronunciation, being able to pronounce words and phrases correctly, isn't the same as having a native accent. In learning a second language, it's imperative that you pronounce words and phrases correctly so that people understand exactly what you're trying to say. It's also recommended that you enunciate and or intonate in a certain way that would be more familiar to, the people of the region that you're living in, so that they find your manners of speech more familiar, more comfortable. It's just a lot easier to communicate that way. But that's about it. That really is where your duty as an English learner should end. An accent is basically just a signifier of where you were born and raised. And so to imply that there is a standard accent that is more desirable than others is to perpetuate the idea that origins and backgrounds are somehow more important than passion and hard work. And then as a result, some people get unfairly dismissed because of how they sound, and then others receive unearned attention and respect because of where they were born, where they were raised. Now I know that the world is, a dark, dark place. Life is unfair. Things like that happen all the time, which is why I completely understand the desire around practicing foreign accents per se. There are a lot of English channels out there that helps you do that. However, you're gonna have to be the one to really ask yourself whether or not you want to invest the time and effort into this one particular aspect of the language. Because like I said, it's gonna take up time, it's gonna take time and effort that you could have used for other more important things. And then just because something is a status quo doesn't mean that we have to comply. So yeah, I guess my answer to this second question is definitely always try to pronounce words and phrases correctly. I'm still trying to work on this. I still make mistakes on a daily basis, but I try to pronounce things properly. I try to be clear and concise in what I'm saying so that people have an easy time understanding me. But on trying to sound like a native speaker, it's kind of low on my list of priority. The third question that I received is how to be confident speaking English when you have a thick accent, like when it's very clear that you're not a native English speaker. Why do you have to concern yourself so much with how you sound when at the end of the day, it's about what you're going to say and ultimately why you want to say it? And trust me, in life and in your career, there will come a time where you can work so hard and become so good that your expertise will trump your English abilities, that people will just want to listen to what you have to say in spite of what you sound like. So I hope this is like a dosage of confidence for you. Just really focus on what you have to say. When you are so sure of what you have to say, when you have conviction in what you want to convey to the world, you will have the confidence to do it. Like, I'm sure you guys noticed that my accent is like really messed up throughout this video. I used to have a thicker Aussie accent, but because I've moved to Vietnam a few years now, I consume a lot of US content, and now I just sound like a mix of, weird Aussie vowels and some American accented words. But it doesn't matter if I have something I want to share with you guys, and I believe that I am the right one to tell you guys about it. I'll do it. You guys can tell me that my English is bad all day long. It doesn't really matter because you're still sitting here listening to me. So yeah, it's what you're trying to say, why you want to say it, not really how you sound when you say it. And on that note, I want to really rant about this one thing that I've been thinking about a lot since I had the idea to film this video. It seems to me that a lot of Vietnamese people are trying to hide the fact that they're Vietnamese learning English as a second language. I don't really understand this. I think that learning a second language is an achievement in and of itself. The fact that you're coming from a non-English speaking country isn't something that you should be ashamed of. And I think that the beauty of an accent is that it speaks to your roots. It speaks to where you come from. And it should be authentic. It should be something so unique that when people hear that, they would know where this person comes from, what they've achieved in speaking this way. So I just really hope that this video helps shine some light on a different perspective on English speaking. The thing is, when you think about it, language is something that was invented by humans to connect one another. Like, we have languages so that we can understand each other better and as a result can become closer as a community. And these days we live in a more connected world than ever. We live in the age of globalization. So use English as a weapon, use English as a tool, use English as a key that opens so many doors that would broaden your horizon to no end instead of focusing on this one very minor aspect of the language. Let's face it, the reason that English becomes the international language and so popular all over the world isn't because of the way it sounds, it's not more audibly pleasing than any other languages in the world. The reason that it's become such a useful language to master is because there are so many resources in the world that is written and created in English. So yeah, I just really want to drive home the fact that if you can use English to talk to a native English speaker, to travel without struggling to communicate with others, you have already achieved so much and you should be proud instead of worrying about how you sound when you speak. And I can assure you that any native English speaker who can understand you and hear what you have to say in their native language will really appreciate it. I don't think anyone would really give you a hard time about how thick your accent is. And if they do, they're a dick and you shouldn't worry about it anyway. So those are all of the questions that I'm gonna address in this video. Because it's in full English, I didn't want it to be too long. I do have another Q&A video coming up. It is gonna be in Vietnamese and I'm gonna answer more questions relating to a lot more issues in English learning, like writing and vocabulary and such. So look forward to that. And I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know in the comments below if you want me to do more English speaking video. I will upload new video on this channel every week and I will see you guys very soon. See ya!